All systems go. Cleared for takeoff.
What's up, everyone? Tyler Tamboline here, a.k.a. ToeTagginTambo. And we're back for the Round 3 Showdown show here on the Mayo Media Network. Ship It Nation. We got you guys covered. Great show yesterday. Got my guy Hoop here back with me, as always. Sweating some stuff right now. We are sweating. We are starting a little bit early, so I'm kind of watching the sweat on the side for Round 2. But got some lineups up top there. And then starting a little bit early today, but we got you covered. We got the weather we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some of the scoring average. The cut line is set now. It's at 5 over. So I know people sweating the main slate. You can see it there now of what's happening. Obviously, I think it was Justin Thomas just made a 7-footer to squeak in and make that. So we'll talk about him. He's been good on making these cuts and then getting through and then having himself a weekend. But Hoop, I'll bring you in, man. What's going on this Friday evening? How are things?
Yeah, fun watching the event today, PGA Championship. Had some weather a little bit. I mean, it rained for a little bit. Then after that, it seemed like the wind came down. Conditions were much easier because the course softened up. And I believe we looked at it was at least a stroke advantage to the afternoon guys so far. In terms of tomorrow for round 3, it looks like a lot of rain to start the day. It looks like 90%. Chance in the 90s. I guess it all depends on how heavy it is. Are they going to play right through it? Do the guys that, come right out after the rain have an advantage? It's very interesting dynamic tomorrow in terms of how this is all going to play out. But again, we got our guys at the top. Scotty Scheffler just has to be by far the number one guy. And your Canadian boy, Corey Connors. The Canadian guys just continue to play solid golf. Very, very interesting. And they talked about it on the telecast actually today too. And I was watching that. Yeah, the Canadian crew is putting in some work there. So I know you got to love that. Yeah,
I do love that. And they were calling him Corey. What was I saying in Mayo on Wednesday? They're calling him the beanie. Corey Connors rocking the beanie. I said, no, it's a toque in Canada. And now that's been corrected. Yeah. I mean, he's doing his job up top there. So like you said, there's lots to look at when we do break it down here. I mean, we talked yesterday, the Canadian contingent that's up there. You see Pendrith, you see Svensson. I didn't see where Hadwin went off to today because we were watching him yesterday too. But either way, we're going to go through and break it down. You mentioned the weather. We'll go there again in a second. But the way we're going to do it, just so everybody knows, is we're going to look at this from the leaderboard. That way, hopefully by the end of it, we can get down to see maybe, like, for example, Jason Day. I know he's like one off the cut line right now, but he's down the board. If we start leaderboard style, we still have it matched up with the pricing where we can go back and forth, get you guys set up. And then, of course, over at shipitnation.com, we'll have you guys covered tonight. We'll have the player pool up for the Showdown Round 3. We'll have our core report up for myself and for Hoop, where we put our 3 favorite plays with notes to go with why, talk some lineup construction, things like that. In the Discord, we'll be talking all of that tonight. So if you guys haven't signed up, there's still time. It's the promo that ends. It's the one-time promo, 1 week only. That's the only time we're ever going to do it for the site. It ends on Monday. It's $49 a month or $4.99 for the year. Had some people reach out yesterday and ask. We had a few convert overnight, heard about the promo. Right now, for the original people getting in, we call it the Founding Family offer, we are going to be giving away $1,000 to anyone who buys the annual in a prize draw. How it's going to work is after the first week, we'll give away $500 to somebody who bought it in the first week, set it up like that. That means they're going to get back their whole membership price. After that, for the remaining 3 weeks of the month, it goes to $59 or $5.99 before it settles at $69 or $6.99. Being upfront with everything as far as the pricing goes, we're still going to give away $250 2 weeks after that, and then $250 2 weeks after that. So $1,000 total to anyone who signs up for annual and locks in, which breaks it down pretty good. You still have NFL, NBA, NHL, all that stuff coming, projections for all. And then lastly, the original point I started on is if you are on the monthly and you realize this and now you want to convert over to the annual, you can do that very easily. It's basically one click to do so. The system already recognizes that you've paid that monthly, so it will just break off the original from the top, and you'll just pay the difference. So don't know if you had anything else there you wanted to cover, Hoop, but before I keep going, I'll let you hop in.
Yeah, if you are a monthly member, and you do want to make that change over to be eligible for the drawings coming up, If you just go to your account. If you're logged in, there's a blue tab at the top. You click account and then subscriptions right there, and then you can do the upgrade to annual. A lot of people have asked, how to do that. So account, subscriptions, upgrade, you'll be good to go and eligible for that drawing on Monday, and then the ones after that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Let's talk about this weather. You mentioned it. This is always tough and tricky to figure out. Looking at tomorrow, I mean, it's the same weather we've been looking at all week. It made sense today. Right now, it's actually almost a stroke and a half, it looks like, in the difference. I'm seeing 3.46 in the morning for the wave, and then 2.12. So it's a little under stroke and a half, but just to show that there, I'm seeing that right now. You go to look at tomorrow for the weather. The rain in the morning is decent. We'll see what that actually turns out to be like. The temperatures are pretty standard across the board, 57 through 65 throughout the day. And then in the morning, the winds are a little bit higher, sustained, higher gusts. But then later afternoon hoop, like if it was ever to get pushed or anything, goes right back to the 14 to 16 mile an hour sustained. It goes to the gusts 24 to 26, 29, all that. So how are you going to play this? Because it's tough to say. The afternoon has been a little bit easier, but you also have to remember if you know how this is going to go. It could be a little softer for the guys coming out or anything like that in the morning. So how are you going to do this?
Yeah, it's difficult to really analyze and figure out, because tomorrow is definitely the colder day. So let's say some of these guys, if they can't finish tomorrow, get pushed back to Sunday, it looks like they might have an advantage, warmer temperatures, sun's going to be out. It's tough because you just don't know. Is it raining hard enough where there is a delay, where there isn't a delay, where they have to play through it? So if the guys that are going off early have to play through it, obviously they'd be at a pretty big disadvantage. And then, the leaders go out after the rain, soft conditions, not having to play in the rain, or does it get pushed back? So hard to break down, man. I mean, it's really, we always are looking for a weather advantage in Showdown. I mean, that's the number one edge in PGA DFS. If you can find a very nice, solid weather advantage, and it's just hard. So maybe you do some team stacks. I mean, you do a really good job of building teams in groups. Maybe you build teams with guys that are going off early, that we know are going off early. And then maybe you build some stacks with guys that are going off late, which would be the leaders. That's a little more difficult because they're going to be the more popular guys on the slate. The guys at the top of the leaderboard for Showdown are always going to be a little more popular. So maybe, just build some teams of all the guys that are like five over, and maybe they end up getting some sort of advantage. So I think that is the best way to go about handling this for round 3. Attack, build, depending on how many teams you build, I guess it really ultimately, that's what it really depends on, how you handle it. But build some of those stacks, guys that are going off early, the guys that are 5 over, 4 over, and see how it all plays out. They'll typically be lower owned too. So you might get a double leverage situation where you have these low end guys that potentially end up with a better weather situation.
Yeah, definitely possible. I mean, I always call it building in sets. And that's something that I'll definitely be doing here, because I think just looking at it's always hard to tell. But the thing is, remember, if the afternoon does end up being better or a little bit softened because of that rain, or even things get pushed a little, whatever it ends up happening, the guys in the afternoon are the ones that are playing the best right now anyway. So it's kind of the setup there where, like, say, yes, ownership will come with it, but you can mix and match, right? You can play a few of those guys in the morning, play. Well, I was calling them yesterday 5 1s or 4 2s, thinking about NFL Showdown. It's kind of the same thing. If you want to play 5 guys in the afternoon with 1 from the morning or 4 from the afternoon that are playing really well, look good, and then you'll get those 2 unique guys that are going out in the morning, that's okay. There's plenty of different ways that you can do it, but I don't have any problem with full stacking either. I think, again, the afternoon has shown to play a little bit easier. It looks like it could be softened up. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't know. One other thing I want to note too, my guy, Degenerate75, I hit him up before the show. We're trying to balance the shows. He's trying to get it set up so you can check his show out as well. He does an incredible job. He'll follow up. He's going after the round ends today, which is nice. So check out his channel. It's youtube.com/Degenerate75. You can check that out after. He'll have another breakdown of the weather. He'll probably be making fun of the classic slate guys with that donkey chalk. Ricky Fowler, Wyndham Clark, guys like that, not getting through there. So it'll be a fun show to check out. Check him out after. He'll have more on weather and such, but that's what we can give you for now. I'm definitely going to be building in sets, Hoop. The cut is set. I already told you that. We already looked at the weather and the wave splits. So let's go to this leaderboard. I'm going to get the latest refresh here on both sides. Connor, Scotty Scheffler. Looks like Victor Hovland. Did he birdie the last to get up there as well? I think so. Yeah, looks like he did. So yeah, we've got a 3-way tie at the top right now, and it's with Scheffler, Connors, Hovland. Scheffler, I think is 11-1 tomorrow. Yeah, Rahm is 10-9 tomorrow. So it looks like this is our starting point here, Hoop. So talk to me about the top of this leaderboard. Your thoughts on these guys up here.
So the guys at the top, I mean, Scheffler obviously up there at 11-1, just going to continue to play him. He was in my core for the main slate, my core for round 2 showdown. He'll probably be in my core for round 3 showdown as well. The guy's just the best player in the world. Nothing really affects him. Tough courses, tough conditions. I mean, he just goes out there and does his thing. So going to have a good chunk of him going into tomorrow. Then you look at the next group of guys that are leaders, and that's how you want to do this, right? Just talk, through the leaderboards like
I think that's the best way, because then when we get later on, for those watching, like if we get to Jason Day and he's making the cut, at least we made it on time that way versus trying to decipher it now by price points where we don't know where everyone's at.
Yeah, so then, Hovland, obviously, like you said, birdie that last hole. He's up there at 9-6. Man, he's playing good. I'll probably just take a pass on him at 9-6, just knowing that I'd much rather get up to Scheffler. Corey Connors, 7.7K, interested in him at 7.7. It's a cheap price. Like, he is going to come with ownership. There's no denying it. I mean, he's tied for the lead at the PGA Championship, and he's priced 7.7K. Really, I mean, hasn't run into any issues whatsoever, just kind of cruising through and finding success, playing very well. So in on Connors, in on Scheffler, going to be off of Hovland. Bryson, I'll pass on him again. Passed on him on the main slate, passed on him round 2. He did what? Even today, it's solid, but I'm good staying off Bryce. I just have the feeling that an implosion has to be coming at some point. Maybe he's fixed his game. Maybe he has. Maybe the weight loss and all that, the different mindset has led him down this path to, success moving forward, but I'm not buying it yet. So I'll continue just to go ahead and fade him. Justin Sue kind of made a charge today. He's 7.2K. I will play some of him. Keegan Bradley at 7.8, solid round today. I think it was right around even. I think he's a play here for us. Callum Tarrant, we talked about him, I believe, on the main show on Wednesday. I didn't end up playing him, but he's hanging around at the top. And then Brooks at 2 under, 9,700. Not a ton of interest in him. So these guys are like 2 under and above. Scheffler, Connors, Sue, Bradley would be the 4 kind of main guys that I'll be looking at going into tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to get crushed tomorrow if things don't go my way, because the guys that I want to be off right now are pretty standard. The ones I want to be on with you are Scotty. This guy, I think he's a massive favorite right now to win this tournament, even with how it's set up and everything, with all the holes to play. He was like plus 150 with 50 holes to play. Obviously, it's got a little bit tighter with guys, but they just know over the weekend what's going to happen. The guy that's the best and one of the best, if not the best in the world, is going to find his way up there. Him and Rahm, again, have that conversation later. Rahm's $200 cheaper. This is a situation where if you wanted to play Rahm, you could do so. Again, I got to see too. We'll get to that later, but last I looked, at least he was plus. Yeah, I think he's 4 over with 1 to play. So I mean, hopefully he doesn't completely implode on that last hole. We'll get it live. That's the good news. We'll be here. But I am going back to Hovland. I hit on this yesterday, and he dominated for me again. He's 4 birdies, only 1 bogey. I told you it's the guy.
I wish I would have listened to you on Wednesday, man, because you were on it. You were on it as of Wednesday going into the main slate. I thought about it, and then when I built my teams, I'm like, I just didn't have enough room to bring Hovland with me, so I had to hop off, and obviously really regret it now at this point.
Yeah. The guys I was going to say that are going to burn me though here for sure is Connors. I'm not going back to him. I didn't play him today. Again, it's not the worst thing in the world. He had a fair round. He had almost like the Hovland round for cheaper, so it's good. He's at the top. It's not like the position points are in play here, so who cares? But I'm just saying that is one thing. So I don't want to be on Connors. I don't want to be on Bryson. I don't care that he continues to do it. And he just lost with the putter. The back 9 looks good. He made some mistakes in the front, whatever. Again, people want to keep going back to him. He's playing well. I just don't like going back when I already missed the first 2. Yeah. I understand why people will play him, and it makes sense. That's why I said I'm going to get burned if this doesn't go my way. And same for Brooks. There's no way. I mean, Brooks is 9,700 tomorrow. He made the charge at the end. He looks incredible. That finish was awesome. It's Brooks at a major narrative is back. Like, it just crushed at the Masters. He's the one of the 3, I will say. It's very likely, if you look at my pool tomorrow, 0 Connors. We'll have it up on the site at shipitnation.com. But Connors and Bryson out. Brooks will probably be in the pool, but it's going to be very light. He's the one that, like I said, I guess I could put some in, but I just don't want to be. The other guys I like there were Keegan Bradley And then Justin Rose, just another guy that's a grinder. He's 7,900. The one thing I like about Rose is he's right there. Him and Keegan actually both are right there where Corey Connors is at. So we'll see what people do with Connors, but Connors' stats look really good, and he's at the top of the leaderboard. So I think people will go there. Top down to this next range, Hoop. We got McIlroy. You can go right down, like T19 stretches. So maybe just go a little bit and then talk through it, and then I'll take over.
So Justin Rose, I believe he's in there. And again, you talked about missing the boat on a guy. I missed the boat on him. Didn't play him first or second. Obviously, I don't think today he did all that well. Was he like 1 over potentially today? Maybe 2 over. I just can't play him. I'm just not going to do it. He's playing solid golf, but I'll be off of him. Your guy Shane Lowry made a charge today, and the price is pretty low. What is he? He's 7.6K. He's a guy in these weird, tough conditions that can thrive, and today was the case. So
7 birdies. Seven birdies.
Yeah. I'm in on him. Again, I wish I would have been on him Wednesday when I built my teams, but hey, I'll swallow my pride. I'll go back to him at 7.6. I'm playing my guy Svensson, continues to play solid golf. It appears that he's kind of turned a corner here a little bit. Rory, faded him day 1, faded him day 2. You know what I'm doing here. I will be fading him day 3 as well. Keith Mitchell, not much interest. Min Woo, Michael Block, not going to play him. I will play some Mean Dean Burmeister, 6.9K. It's a good price on him. Sepp Straka, maybe. Dustin Johnson, I'm going to continue to play him. Not the greatest day today, but again, he played in the morning when the conditions were a little bit more difficult. I could see him kind of moving up the leaderboard here a little bit. Big group here at T19, like you said. I'll just name off some of the guys that I have some interest in. I said Dustin. Ryan Fox, Patrick Cantlay. I think he probably had the best round in the morning wave. I believe he was 3 or 4 under. He's 4 under, and he bogeyed the last hole. I think he was first in the field on approach. I don't know if that ended up holding through the afternoon round. Most likely he didn't.
Oh, Patty the Batty. Padraig Harrington. I think he
tracked him down.
Yeah, he got the job done. So yeah.
Another good call, Kitayama on your end. 6.6K. I'm good with that. Cameron Davis been playing some solid golf. He's one of those guys, like my last cut, I think, when I built my teams on Wednesday. But back to playing some steady golf. Interested in Hostler. Varner. Cole kind of pooped the bed today, but we expected that. We talked about it yesterday. We thought he was a great fade, sitting there with the lead going into today and somewhat imploded. But, he still made the cut here, but I'm not going to play him for showdown purposes. Mito. Neesmith, I'm in on both of those guys. And then Morikawa, just not going to be playing Morikawa with, Scotty Scheffler up there. We'll talk about Rahm when we get to him. So a lot of options for me in this range. Svensson, Ryan Fox, Cantlay, Kitayama, Hostler, Varner, probably some of my favorites here.
Yeah, so just looking at it, some of the guys you mentioned, I am going to go back. Like I'm going back to Hovland. The other guy that people say Hovland plays like is Rory. So I got no problem with it. I'm going to stick to it. At work today, the lineups I'm sweating right now, a lot of them are like Scheffler, Rahm lineups where you could play them both. And then Neesmith, you just mentioned him, just made a birdie. I need Neesmith to come home.
Let's go, baby.
That'd be nice that he could pop some in there. He just made one on 15. So we'll take that, see how he closes up. Cantlay, who you mentioned. Cantlay is the one that I'm considering. Like I said, if I wasn't on Brooks there, again, even if I'm on him, it's not going to be very much. I'm definitely going to be in on Cantlay down the board at $200 less. So I like that. Sticking with my guy Kitayama, I'm going to go there. Just trying to look at some of his other stats there. I thought Kitayama's looked pretty good across the board when I was looking here earlier. Yeah, really solid. He just missed it around the green and with the putter. So off the tee approach, very solid. It's a 1 over round, but again, that's fine on a course like this. Couple birdies, 3 bogeys, the rest pars. He can do a little bit better for us tomorrow. So I like that. I'm back in on Mito. Probably going to go with Neesmith again, just because his price only went up slightly. And then did you see the end of Harold Varner's round? Like this guy just went off. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and 4 of those are par 4. So it was 4 birdies and a par just to come home. And that's for a 1 over round. So I don't know if I'll chase that, but I just thought that was at least interesting to point out because you see it there. And then there was one other guy here that I wanted to stick with. Who was it? You said him earlier. Oh, KH Lee. He was another guy like yesterday, 6,300. He almost went bogey free. He made bogey at the end, but he had 3 birdies, solid across the board on the short game, on the approach, every static, off the tee, approach, everything was just dialed. So I really like KH Lee there at 6,600. He barely got a price boost versus I think he was 6,800 yesterday. So he actually went down 6,800. Yeah. So he went down $200. It was Neesmith that went up from 6,300 to 68. Last guy hoop in this range, horrible today. But again, I'm going to save $1,000 off Brooks. Again, I'm just going to keep shitting on Brooks. It's probably not going to turn out well, but DJ at 8,700. Everybody, like I said, yesterday, my things were DJ, Scott, and Eric Cole. All of them pretty bad today. Again, just mentioned it. They're, not for me, but people, I know why people are playing them. That's the thing. So for me, DJ is a guy that I'll go back to at 8,700. The chat, by the way, real quick update, couple updates. Moronk, birdie on 17, so people are looking for that one. And then Jay Day about to miss cut. So Jason Day, another one that was in that range of death because Sung Jae and then Jay Day, both those guys are going to miss. Looks like DJ was the answer in that range.
Yeah, we talked about it on the show too. We kind of
3 winners. Sung Jae had one in Korea. DJ won the Live event in Tulsa, and then obviously Jason Day won the Byron Nelson. So it's just that area that you saw. But still, either way, keep going.
All right, you want to hit the next range here? So it looks like these guys are mostly T31 through T37. We can hit up that range. Looks like there's about 20 guys in that range on the leaderboard. Victor Perez, 7K flat. Yeah, I'm fine going to him. I mean, cheap price tag. Adam Scott, I think, is a very interesting play tomorrow. A guy that has been playing really good golf, played really solid in round 1. Again, in the crappier draw today, had a really bad round, but I could definitely see him bouncing back and moving up the leaderboard. I mean, 1 bad round as of late. I think he can bounce back and get it done. Your guy, Steven Yeager, 2 over, solid so far, fine going back to him. Thigala, talked about him last night, kind of in length, where, man, I just think he's a good tournament showdown option almost any single event that he's in. The guy is just like a roller coaster ride. He has these really good weeks. He has these really good rounds. He has really shitty weeks, really shitty rounds. Perfect for showdown. I mean, really, he's just an ideal showdown type guy. And, that's good. Something I'm going to probably be doing most showdown slates moving forward, being on him. Your guy Poston, 6.9K, that's a little bit too much for me. I liked him when he was like way down at the bottom, like
6,300.
That
was nice. Yes.
Yeah, that was a much better. I don't like the $600 price increase on him, so no thanks there. Same can be said for Hubbard too at 7K. I like playing Hubbard. I played him on the main slate, but he was 6.3K. 7K makes it harder to do like a stars and scrubs type build. He's a guy that I want to spend very few dollars on. Max Homa, I think, is another really good play tomorrow. A guy that started to kind of climb up the leaderboard early on today and then got hit, in his face in the weather, I guess, kind of in that early morning draw and fell back. He's 3 over. I don't think he should have much ownership. So good play there. Taylor Moore at 7.3 is a guy I like for showdowns. Usually he can score. So I'll have some of him. Buckley, kind of similar to Moore. I'm fine going there. Tommy Fleetwood, 8.3. Probably going to pass on him. Like, I prefer Homa. I prefer Dustin Johnson in that range. And definitely not playing Hideki. Matt Wallace, no thanks. Harrington, no thanks. And then Adam Hadwin, probably no thanks. So these in this range, guys that I like, Scott, Yeager, Thigala, Homa, those are definitely my favorites there.
Man, put some respect on Patty's name. Patty the Batty. This guy was dialed today. Look at that back nine.
You're not playing his ass, are you?
4. No, I don't think I will. I do play him sometimes though, but looking at it from here, I don't think I will. The what's the price on him? I have it here. 6,600. Woo. Maybe I could.
Okay, all right. I didn't realize.
I might change gears there. What I was gonna say is
I just pulled the 180 as well. A 6.6 I can do.
Well, because we just made fun of the other stuff, and then you see that. The one guy, though, I'm keeping an eye on. So there's a guy at 6,300 right now. We'll have to wait and see. He's got 1 hole to go, I think, is Brendan Steele. I want to keep an eye on him. It's not the best day, but his stats are solid. It's just he really was horrible around the greens and almost lost 2 strokes with the putter. So that's a guy I at least had a little bit of interest in, but just dropping down.
I thought you
had a couple other spots. Like you said, What's that?
I thought you were going to go with Mayo's boy at 6'3". Thurston Lawrence?
No, I don't play that guy. He plays
Mayo likes him, right?
Yeah, he likes him. I've won a bet on him before. My guy Baroff got me on him before for a bet. We finally hit. It felt like it took forever, but this guy, I'm up money on him now after that. It took a while, but we got there. But man, this guy, he's fine. I just, for not for me here. I don't like him. So going to some of these other guys, I was gonna say one thing like you mentioned earlier, the Postons and the Hubbards, where the price just got jacked up from what we're used to paying for them, at least in a field like this on the main slate. You can get like Patrick Reed for 7,500. You can go to like Højgaard down there, who I like at 7,200. Like those guys are just ones that I would rather pay for. I was trying to look at Buckley's stats, and I know he had that streak today, but I don't know, over the 2 days, a little more dialed. It looked like with the approach game on day one today, quite a bit of putt. Well, really not even, lost a bunch around the green. I don't know. It depends on what you think Buckley's going to do tomorrow on approach. He is how much? 7,000 flat, so he's in consideration, but not someone.
It's a guy similar to the other dudes. You want him probably a little bit cheaper. I mean, you probably want him, 6'6", 6'7". So once they get to that 7K, it's like, again, it's harder to kind of do the stars and scrubs. I mean, I'll probably still consider him there. I mean, I left him out of my top plays in this range, but yeah, it just depends how many of these guys 7K and below you need to really get to the builds that you want.
I think what I'll actually do instead in the same range is I'm going to play Sam Stevens at 6,800. This is a guy that was a late add to the main slate. He actually didn't even make it on DraftKings. They didn't get him into the pool. So there was that. But on the other side of that, there was the he did get it on FanDuel, and he was a little bit cheaper. So, yeah, Sam Stevens at 6,800 is a guy I'd have a little bit more interest here in this range. And then did you see Joel Damon? What were your thoughts on him? I didn't hear if you mentioned him. He's the only other one I was going to ask you about.
Did not. What's the, so he's 6'4". I could definitely do Damon's for 6'4". I kind of overlooked that. And then who you just mentioned, Steele, right?
We're waiting on Steele. We'll get there because he actually.
I was just gonna say, he dropped.
Yeah, he's T61 now, so we got to wait and see on him. But going through some of those guys, there's not really anybody else that stood out heavily. Joel Damon did for sure for me. Talk to me real quick about like Xander, Rahm. So Rahm closed it out at what? 4 over he got to? Yeah, I know that Xander was all the way to remember when Xander was dead on arrival, 4 holes in, he was already out of the tournament. Yeah, well, now he made the double in the last. That didn't help him, but he's still, 4 over is not the worst. Only shot 2 over today, but there's some guys in here that we want to talk about. Justin Thomas got in on the number. John Rahm, Xander Schauffele. Like these are guys I have interest in. Cam Smith is right there as well. What are you doing in this next tier, sort of T51 down, and then we got to start making some decisions on some of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, these are the guys that are going to be very interesting for tomorrow, and those are the guys that you can kind of feature in those lineups that we talked about in the opening, where you just build the blocks of guys here that are going off early tomorrow and hope that some way, shape, or form they end up with an advantage based on this range. Do we know what the advantage is going to be? If there's going to be an advantage, no. But there's the potential for it. So the way that you can kind of take advantage of it is to, stack guys in this range. And John Rahm, Xander Schauffele, like you talked about, who else was down? There's a lot of guys down here, like Cam Smith, I believe, is down here as well. So there's options in terms. Matthew Fitzpatrick down here. He
just missed the cut. I just typed it.
Did he?
Bogey,
no,
miscut.
Wow. All right. Don't
a couple spots on main slate. My God, man, just unbelievable.
Yeah. He had to be pretty popular too. Yeah, that's a pretty big implosion there. Cam Smith is a guy to look at for those sort of Hatton as well at 8-6. If you're playing those guys, even Jordan Spieth. So there's a lot of options. Those guys are going to be pretty low owned. So there's a lot of ways I think to go about building those teams where you stack up the guys that are going to go off early tomorrow. So all in play for those sort of teams. Like if you are playing them, I honestly like just putting them together. But I will definitely continue to play John Rahm. I mean, he played like crap yesterday. The guy doesn't give up no matter what. Like he will continue to go out there and grind because he thinks he can get up there into, T20 or something, which he very possibly can. Like if he goes out tomorrow and, post a 3 under, which I don't even know if that's going to be possible tomorrow, but if he does, and then he's sitting at 1 over, and it gets bad, like the afternoon guys maybe end up with a worse weather situation. And then they all start coming down. I mean, you never know. So John Rahm, I'm definitely going to get some exposure to. 10-9, Xander as well at 10-1. Talking about some of these other guys, I got Lucas Herbert, 6.4K. Thurston Lawrence, who I just mentioned, 6.3K. Like, I'd have to play those guys over like Buckley and Mark Hubbard and other guys that are in that 7K range. I'm just going to take the savings and come down with these dudes. Other guys interested in down here, Taylor Montgomery, he's 6.8K. He's a guy that can knock down some deep putts. Interested there a little bit. Alex Smalley, I'll continue to play him. I played him on the main. I played him yesterday. Like, I'm good continuing on there. He's 6.2K. He's 5 over. Fine with that. Davis Thompson, 6.2K. I'm just going to be fine playing these super cheap guys. That way I can get more exposure to Scotty Scheffler, more exposure to John Rahm. Other guys in this Chris Kirk for sure, 6.6K. Going to continue to play my guy Kirky. That's not even a question. Thomas Peters kind of fell apart a little bit today, 6.7. Some interest there. Meronk, well, you said he made a birdie, right? So he's good to go.
I think they said in the chat he made a birdie. So Meronk is he's 4 over. He can't double the last.
Okay, yeah. So as long as he's good to go, I am interested. But the way I think you play these more expensive guys down here, pair them together: Xander, John Rahm, Rahm, and Justin. What's Justin Thomas at? 4 over,
right
right?
On the cut, yeah, 5 over.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, Justin Thomas, Tony Finau. I like pairing these guys together and just hope that the guys that go on off early tomorrow have some sort of advantage. So that's how I'm going to play these guys down here, especially the more expensive guys. But I like the expensive guys down here and the cheapies.
What's crazy though is everything you just said with the cut line. Like, it's 5, and you've got between 4 and 5. You have Rahm, Xander, Cam Smith, Finau, Hatton. Who's the other guy? Spieth, JT.
Yeah. There's so many of them. And some are moving up tomorrow. I mean, there's no
and we could have had Fitzpatrick, but that could be a bit of an edge to the slate, because that's what I'm saying. When you look at that, their prices are 94, 93, 91, 86, and then 10-9, 10-1. These are hovering around the Brooks Koepka price tags and all that stuff up top. So maybe Brooks just buries us, like we said, but at the same time, I mean, there is something to be said there for that when you've got Hovland, Scotty, Rory up top, and then guys like Shane Lowry and stuff are sort of those mid-tier price guys where you could just hop down here and see if you can get away with it regardless. Again, it could be, like I said, the one thing that I do note, and I'll keep an eye, like I say, watch more shows later, things like that. But just when you look, the temps are basically the same across the board. That has been a key factor in the day 1 and day 2 scoring, where it was freezing cold or really cold for golf to get a little bit warmer in the afternoon. Tomorrow, not like the winds kind of stay the same. The temps kind of stay the same. And this is where you got to balance it, because yes, the talent is also at the top of the leaderboard. That's how they got there. The guys that are playing well. But what I meant to say is the talent is kind of sitting at the bottom. So if you can bet on the talent over that, I definitely think that's something to consider, where you've got that setup down low. Yeah, someone just said Fitz. Very, very, very hurtful. That one sucks for sure. Bogey through his club. He's a little kid. Yeah, almost literally. He's very small. And then Rahm is a beast. Meronk in par 18. So nice. Meronk got in. He was someone you said I think was 6,600, right?
Yeah, he's cheap. Yeah, he's down there 66. Definitely like him. I mean, he's a scorer too. Like, he can make some birdies, which obviously you want for Showdown.
Did I highlight him? I'm trying to see. 6,600. The other guy, what I was going to say, the two that I'm keeping an eye on. So where's it at here? If the chat can let us know. If you guys see, so keep an eye on Davis Thompson by the end of this show. He is 5 over headed to the last. I can pull it up on a different screen. I'm just trying to do a million things here at once. But
yeah, I'll keep an eye and see what we can.
The other one. So yeah, Steele and Thompson are both riding the cut line with 1 to play, and they are 63 and 6,200 for tomorrow's slate. So you need cheapies. I mean, someone said it yesterday. We talked about a lot of different guys. We give you an idea. The actual player pool is over at shipitnation.com, so you can go check that out and sign up and get it after. Kevin, my guy, says Steele is in trouble on 18.
No.
Might not be good for people on the main or even some of mine. I don't know. I haven't looked, but I will say I appreciate you keeping me updated on this for Showdown. But anybody else down here that we missed too? But I'm just trying to look and see the plus.
I think the potential edge tomorrow is the way you build your teams. We just talked about it in this lower range based on the leaderboard. How many big names are down there? When people build their teams, and I'm obviously going to do it too. They want to start with Scotty Scheffler. They don't want to start with John Rahm. We talked about it yesterday. They when they go with they look at Victor Hovland, they're going to want to go with Victor Hovland over Justin Thomas tomorrow.
Right.
So I really think there is a potential. I'm not saying for sure that there's going to be an advantage, but if there happens to be, you want those guys clumped together. So I really think building some teams with multiple guys that are 4 and 5 over is a potential route to go tomorrow.
I do like that. Again, like I said, so the nice part is the talent is all down there. I don't know if
Tony Finau too. Like same thing. So you look at Tony Finau versus Hovland. Like everyone's going to play Hovland because he's at the top of the leaderboard and Finau's down at the bottom. Oh, our guy Phil made the cut. I didn't realize that. 5 over, 6.5K. You going any Phil?
No, but what's McCarthy's price, Denny?
Yeah, he's right there too on this. He is 7.2. I don't like that price tag for him.
No,
he's 7.2.
He just made the cut on the number, so I'm trying to see a couple guys here quick while everyone's on with us just to see.
Josh said Steele missed it. I don't know if that's
Steele missed the cut. Yeah, Steele bogey. Looks like Davis Thompson also missed it.
Jeez.
Wow, these guys making bogey on the last from goodness.
That's just got to be a brutal feeling. Just an absolutely brutal feeling. I guess our guy Hubbard's not safe either. Hubbard's 3 over. So he's 4 over now. He's got 2 holes to go.
Hubbard does?
He could go bogey and miss.
So he just made par on 17.
Okay, so then he's got a double to miss on.
So he's in better shape than those guys. But Davis Thompson, who we talked about, was how much? 6,200?
Yeah, it's super cheap. He was a good round today too.
So really good round. Out. I was just looking. You should see Seabez, Christian Bezadenhout. He lost almost 4 strokes with the putter and missed the cut by 1. I don't know how you would do that.
That's usually his strength, right? Like he's usually.
He's good around that. So Thompson's out, Steele's out. So Kevin said Thompson in, out, and then he goes out for Thompson. So good thing I would have been really excited to really disappointed if that was the case and where you pop that up. So let me see here. There was one other guy I was just checking who we talked about. 17 or no, not Arnaus. He's still playing, but I don't care about that spot. It looks like there's nobody else there. The rest, that was a good way we did the show, I think, to set it up this way. So it's like Hubbard is kind of the one guy there if you want to consider that. Burmese.
We really didn't like him though. I mean, what Hubbard's
I wasn't on him anyway. No, I'm saying, but like just going back and looking now at guys that aren't through, we're pretty up to date. It looks like left on the course again. Even this is a little behind. Most guys are on 17 through. So Neesmith, what's Neesmith doing? I'll give you a sweat update here. Neesmith is what? He is T11 right now. He made birdie par. I need him to do something. He's on the green on 17, but he needs to make a 45-footer. So yeah, Steele hurts. Sorry, Romeo, our guy from Discord too. One of our dudes there. Romeo's the man. He goes, damn, Steele. Yeah, so is what it is. If you guys.
So what did Steele do? Did he go double?
I was watching. I think he went. Trying to do too much here, I think, now at this point. But let me just.
Yeah, he went double par.
It's like we're doing a cut sweat show mixed in with it. That's the idea here. But yeah, Steele went par on 7 on I guess 8. I think he played the front after. But anyway, he went bogey on the last, and it looks like
double par bogey to finish. If he finished.
Oh wow, he had a 12-footer that he needed to make.
Yeah,
and he missed it. So
yeah, that sucks, man. I was on him for the main slate. Yeah.
Thomas choked, or you mean Thompson?
It had to be Thompson.
Yeah, he loves Davis Thompson, and that's what I was just thinking. I can't remember if they're still doing the cut sweat show right now or not, but yeah, either way, it's good stuff. I mean, we went through it all, Hoop. If you guys take something away from it, obviously, I think we talked a little bit about the strategy that we're aiming for. To me, it's a little different today because yesterday, if you guys remember, I'll just finalize it with this. I was skipping a lot of that 9K range. I just wanted the guys up top, and that was it. Here, I still want Rahm Scheffler, but if you look up the gut, if you will, up the middle, there is like Hovland, Finau, JT, Spieth, DJ, Hatton, Homa, whatever guys you're comfortable with. To me, there is more guys in the middle that you can play. And also today, while there is some guys down there, like, so who'd we mention? Smalley, Joel Damon.
A lot of the guys we were on, the cheap guys, the last 2 days, the prices they've come up a little bit.
That's what I mean. So to me, it's a different strategy today from roster construction as well, because I don't see. Yesterday, I loved like 6 to 8 guys down there. Today, there's only like 4 or 5 that I like. It's a little bit less there, a little bit more up top. So I'm excited for this. Showdown is where if you had a rough main slate, you can get a bunch back in Showdown. Pull up my teams now. You got any closing statements, Hoop, before we get out of here?
Yeah, just follow the weather. Kind of curious to see what they do with the groups and tee times to tomorrow, because if this rain's substantial, I mean, it's good. It looks like it's going all the way till like 4 o'clock, potentially 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So if it's heavy, I mean, they're in some big trouble. So keep an eye out for that information, the pairings and the tee times, and just do those groups. I really like that idea. It's the main takeaway for me from this show is so many solid golfers down towards the bottom at 5 over and 4 over. I mean, we've kind of rehashed it a couple of times, but you got Cam Smith, Xander, John Rahm, Hatton, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, all 4 or 5 over. And ownership is not really going to be on those guys because of their position in the current standings, but those are some of the best golfers in the world, and I'm going to be looking to pair up some of those guys in teams going into tomorrow.
Man, it looks like the dream is dead. Unless Neesmith somehow went birdie to end, I could have a good finish. But 20th, 21st, and 30th right now, and they're all pretty much done besides Neesmith. So might be
maybe a whole lot from the
back is all over, Hoop. We were going to try and go back to back here on the PGA Championship round 2.
Maybe it's just going to be a day later.
I hope so. I didn't look. Still making good money. This is, I'm up like $600, $700. So that's nice now. And then if you look at the slate for tomorrow, we'll close on this. Oh, baby. But wait, there's more. This is what we were waiting for, Hoop. $25 buy-in, $100K up top tomorrow. So that's the good news. I'm excited for that. Anyone that was playing, I played the player pool off the site yesterday. We had, I think, 34 guys. And I was like, they mentioned everyone. There's 150-something or 140-something guys. We had 34 in the pool, took another one out late. The core was solid, had Hovland in it for sure. I remember KH Lee had a pretty good day, things like that, where you guys can check it out. But if you're not over at shipitnation.com, the time to check it out is now. The promo ends on Monday, the 22nd. Hoop and I are doing a show on this channel. It will usually be a recorded first look before the Charles Schwab, which is coming up this week. We are going to do around 1 or 2 Eastern, depending on what the pricing's like. Basically, right after the pricing comes out on DraftKings, we're going to hop on. We're going to do the first look show. First look, last chance. That's what we're calling it, because it's going to be your last chance to get in. For everyone that we know there's
you have one. You have one for everything. You have one for everything, right?
That's it. So first or last. That's the thing. We always got to have something. So I'm excited for that one. That'll be good, but that'll be your last chance to get in. All the procrastinators that are waiting. We have so much support already. We appreciate everyone that's joined us. Everyone that's joined. There's lots of people joining us as a secondary site. The nice thing about our price. Like I said, the price is so nice, you won't think twice. $49 right now is insane. But it's the fact that if you are with other sites that you already like or or are friends with or whatever, it's not that much to add on and have that. And then again, if you want to change other things later, that's up to you. But for us right now, we're just focused on what we're doing. It will be the 5 major sports like you see on the site. You can go on there and see the breakdown of all of them. We've got projections for everything but golf. And that was a good example. Somebody brought up today, well, why don't you have them? Why don't you have the golf projections? You have all the other ones. We're not adding anything just to say we have it. Our focus is on making sure we bring you the best for everything that we bring it. I talked on the intro video on the site, quality over quantity. I think someone was quoting Steve Jobs today, and it said like quality over quantity. 1 home run is better than 2 doubles. And then our guy C-Dome said, yeah, literally in DraftKings scoring too, but just in the sense of we want to bring you the best in what we're bringing for. We are testing PGA projections in the back end. But again, they're not for everybody. It's some love them, some hate them. It's up to you. But we want to bring you the content, the tools, the projections, and then the community is fully inclusive. You guys can get in there. Lots of great. There's probably members in the chat right now that can tell you how fun that Discord is and just getting in there and chatting back and forth on all the major sports, sweating this out together, all of those things. So go to shipitnation.com, check it out. You get in there. There's no promo code needed. The price is right on the site. It's $49 for a month or $4.99 for the annual. If you're already a monthly member and decide you want to switch to the annual, it's 1 click and you just pay the difference and you're locked in at that for life. It's not a 1 month only or a 1 year only thing. As long as you don't cancel it, it keeps you on that plan and it keeps you set up with the founding family benefits where we're going to be giving away at least $6,000 over the year. All these other factors that we've committed to out of the gate. One last thing, Hoop, just to remind the people, there will be another $100 giveaway. I think it's our last until Monday. Monday, we've got one more, but there'll be one more $100 giveaway. So for anybody who signed up to the point of this show, you will be in the draw for the $100. We give it away in our Discord daily. You guys will see it in there. So anything else you want to add, Hoop, before I get out of here?
The last thing I was going to add, just to add touch on a couple of points you brought up there about the Discord. Really friendly environment. Like the internet can be a mean, nasty place. Like there is a lot of negativity and ugliness on the internet. Like these days, this Discord is like very friendly, welcoming environment. People are helping each other. Like I haven't seen any like nastiness going on in our Ship It Nation Discord, which is just phenomenal to see right out of the gate. Yeah. And then, like you said, with this introductory price rate that we have going on right now, if you're somewhere else and you like what you're getting there, like this is a perfect product to add on because we have the tools with the projections, hitter rankings, pitcher rankings for baseball. We're going to have all this stuff for the other sports as well. And then you get the picks and plays, the core report, all this other stuff as well. So right now, if you want to get in and add on the $49 per month, like you said, or $499 for the annual, it's just really excited about what we have going on over there. And the people are loving it.
Yeah, best value going into your last point that you just said. If you're waiting for NFL, not only will you pay $20 more a month, we've been transparent on where the pricing is going, what it will be at all times. If you go to the $69 a month and stick with us 6 months of NFL or whatever it is, 5 months, 6 months, depending on how long you stick around, you'll still have paid more in the long run. And then on top of the fact, if you were staying even longer, that let's say you love it during that, and you're like, I do want to stick around for NBA, NHL, and golf is still going on, and we like Hoop and Tambo talking golf, all these things, that's where you just missed out. Like that 49 will never exist again. Even if there was another promo, it would be 59 or 599. We've made that commitment to everybody that was upfront and wanting to join us from the very beginning. So we'll always be much cheaper than the market. But the 49, 499, it was a 1 week only thing because the price for value, it's insane. It works out to $10 a month per sport that we offer. Even if you say I don't play the other sports or I only play 2 sports, now it's $25 a sport. Like it's less than $1 a day. It's extremely friendly pricing as well. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. We'll be back. We're doing these shows every week, Thursday, Friday, right here on the Mayo Media Network, round 2 and round 3, usually around end of round start time. So we'll always notify that. It'll always be on our Twitter. Follow us there at Ship It Nation. That's how you get notified of all these things. You can check that out. That's going to do it, guys. So good luck in all your contests tomorrow, and let's ship it.